Hey everybody, it's Norris with the Norris Group. I am on location in New York City. When it comes to buyers, are you willing to let them try before they buy a piece of real estate? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. So this is going to be my view for the next few days. I am back for a board meeting with the Public Relations Society of America. We are selecting our next board. Some people might not know that real estate investors and realtors, if you're ever interested in learning more about marketing, PR, and advertising, if you haven't plugged into your local chapters of the Public Relations Society of America, the American Marketers Association, or the Advertising Federation, you might want to take a look. You don't have to be a member. You can test out some topics that maybe you don't know much about, and you're surrounding yourself by a bunch of professionals that you can ask questions with. It's sort of a no-brainer. But here with the National PRSA, I'm selecting our next board, so it should be fun. I hope you have enjoyed the accessory dwelling unit conversation that we've had on the radio show and podcast for the last couple months, and I'm really pleased and excited and grateful that the San Diego Creative Investors Association is allowing me to share the final panel discussion we had on June 11th at their club on accessory dwelling units. The panels were awesome, and in this session it features the Mayor of Encinitas, Kathleen Blakespear, Greg Nicholas, he is the Senior Housing Analyst for the California Department of Housing and Community Development, Jeff Plagman, Planner of Encinitas, Brent Johnson, who is the Collateral Risk Manager for Home Street Bank, Michelle Rodriguez, representing the California Mortgage Association, John Aronson with Crest Backyard Homes, and Jordan Marks, he is a taxpayer rights advocate from San Diego County. So unlike some of the conversations we've had, this panel was really diverse and really interesting, and some very important topics ranging from taxes, where you're going to get stuck, or what you might need to think about if you're converting currently illegal space into legal space, and how the tax your tax entity is going to treat that, all the way to financing, where you're going to run into trouble if you're doing things like mixing manufactured homes in with stick-built. Lots of really interesting conversations, so don't miss it over the next couple weeks. Mortgage rates remain stable with 30-year rates at 3.84% and 15-year rates at 3.25%. Home prices increased 3.6% in May, the largest year-over-year increase in about 7 months. Have you ever wondered what the most popular design style is in your state? Well, Apartment Therapy reports on a study that Joybird does, and the study conducted surprisingly found that in 12 states, industrial design was the most popular, which is really interesting. If you've ever been to Restoration Hardware, it's the only place I can think of you can walk in and immediately understand what I'm talking about. Lots of mix of metals, sometimes unfinished wood, typically considered a little bit more cold, or I like to, what can you call it, factory cool. Supposed to feel like you're in an industrial factory. If you don't do it right, it can feel extremely cold, but if done right, it can look pretty stinking cool. Well, in California, Hollywood Regency came in first, while Minimalist was second, followed in third by, you guessed it, industrial. Velvet drapes, silk lampshades, and thick sculpted carpets are just some of the things that mark the Hollywood Regency interior design. If you go online and search these styles on Google, you get to see pictures, and maybe your next rehab, you can incorporate some of those looks and feels. Inman News released an article yesterday about with Josh Teams. He is the president of Keller Williams, and this is a fascinating interview, and I don't know if people are as nerdy as I am, probably not, but in this interview, they were talking about iBuyers, and Keller Williams team announced that they have a new partnership with Google. If you've been in the search optimization space for a long time, you know how incredibly important Google is, the front runner, where people go to do search. I've been following things like if you type in address every year, which sites? Is it Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow? Who shows up first? Well, this is a really interesting play for Google, who hasn't really stepped into the real estate space outside of search, and Keller Williams is basically going to be able to tap into the Google's team's input as to how they can rank naturally and get in front of more people, becoming the winner at search, and that is a ginormous deal. Outside of that, they talk about the iBuyer model, and Josh Teams is very interesting. Keller Williams is launching their iBuyer model. They already have. They've been in stealth mode, but he sort of throws some shade at the industry, saying that he hasn't seen a lot of results, and basically there's been a lot of hype as these companies are just trying to pump up stock prices or maybe prove to investors that they did a good thing by investing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into the format. I think iBuyers are here to stay, and they offer a very beautiful high-tech solution, and they're only going to be making it easier. But it was really interesting to see Keller Williams' perspective, considering it seemed to be a little bit negative, but yet they're throwing their hat in the ring. While I think they're going to be one of the ones to beat is because they are very agent-centric. So on top of all that information, they also covered a lot of the technology that they've been investing in over the last couple years. The Keller Williams team already has said that they're spending over $1 billion on technology for their agents. So if you get a chance, I would highly recommend reading that article specifically this week. A lot of juicy tidbits to get us all thinking about where this industry is headed over the next 5 years. Realtor.com thinks you should allow potential buyers to stay in the house that you're trying to sell so they can try before they buy. They say that planned communities and luxury sellers already do this as a way to get buyers hooked. I've never really thought of that. I don't know how I feel about people staying in a property like that I fixed up that I want to sell. It's interesting. You'll be able to see everything from how loud the dishwasher is to traffic at night and how the neighborhood performs, and maybe you learn that you have a very crazy neighbor. It's an interesting model. I would love to see if this is a tool that you maybe would use to help close the buyer. I'm not here for it, but let's see what you have to say. I'm super excited to launch our new segment on calculator calculations. We are working with In-A-Day Development. I use their app almost every day. It's a financial calculator app. You can run numbers, find out rates of return. Highly recommended. They have lots of little videos, but once every other week, we are going to quiz you on a specific question. And if you leave comments on any social media, we are going to be picking one random winner, and we are going to send you one of Bruce Norris's favorite books on wealth building. So our very first scenario is In-A-Day was listening to a podcast, and they heard an investor who'd built a fortune of $700,000 in 1988 to $10 million in 2016. So here is your question for the week. What was the investor's average annualized rate of his original $700,000 over those decades? Assume monthly compounding and assume that the values given are for January 1st of both years. So go ahead, and when you have the answer or have a comment on the question and you think it's crazy or possible, go ahead and leave a comment on any social media platform that you like that we run, and we will select a winner next week, and we'll also give you an answer. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list, and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video, and if we miss something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at thenorrisgroup.com/blog. We would love to catch you out and about. July 8th, I'll be doing Innovative Real Estate Marketing with LA South RIA. July 10th, Innovative Real Estate Marketing with NorCal RIA. I'll be up in Sacramento. July 13th, the Think Realty Irvine Conference and Expo is going to be awesome. We participated last year. They did a really great job. Both Bruce and I will be speaking, so hopefully we'll see you there. August 21st, 10 decisions to make before the next downturn with Invest Club. And August 23rd, Innovative Real Estate Marketing with WeRep. So for more information on all of our events, you can check out the training tab on our website. For information on hard money loans, including our new accessory dwelling unit program, check out thenorrisgroup.com and hit that hard money tab. We do Florida and California loans, fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction. Or if you're interested in passive investing with trust deeds, mortgages, and notes, check out that Invest tab, and you'll find out lots of information, including our awesome book on trust deed investments. You won't want to miss it. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.